x function has a negative x. Okay? So we know what an e to the x function is. I'm going to do it all the way through here so you can see it. All right? I know what an e to the x function looks like. So e to the x looks like this. Y equals e to the x. If I put the negative out front, if I put y equals negative e to the x, okay, the negative out front is going to make all my answers negative, right? The negative happens after you take e to the power. So your y's become negative. That means you have to reflect over the x-axis. Does the asymptote get in the way? Put the negative here, and I want to go upside down. The asymptote is on the x-axis. If I go upside down, the asymptote's in the way. That's why the whole thing is right here. Okay, my asymptote does not change locations. So if the negative's up to the front, upside down. If, on the other hand, I have y equals e to the negative x, okay, that's going to behave. Oh, did I erase it? What did I do with those? Now, here when the x was on the outside, it went upside down, the asymptote was not in the way. This is different. Okay. So here the x is on the inside. So it's going to take all the, when I took positive numbers in, I got bigger and bigger. Now it's just going to go the opposite direction. Okay? Okay, questions? All right, so I have a negative x. I have a negative x. X is negative. That's this graph right here. So I'm going to take this graph and I'm going to shift it. I'm going to shift it 2 units to the right and 1 unit up. Okay. So I'm going to take this point. I'm going to go 2 units right, 1 unit up. The asymptote moved with it. Okay, so I took the point, 2 units right, 1 unit up. That puts my asymptote now here, right? And then I'm taking this picture, so it's going to look like that. Okay, questions? What point should I test? 2, 2, right? 2, 2. Can you see how 2, 2 is there? Let's just try it. If I put 2 in for x, I should get 2 out for y. 2 minus 2 is 0. E to the 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. It works. Okay? You can go through it slower. Okay, domain. What's my domain? All reals. Okay, so domain is all reals. Range. 1 to infinity. It's going to be associated with that shift. So my range is 1 to infinity. Okay. X-intercept. Oh. No. Go. What's your question?
So why isn't
Okay, so you can see that it's crossing 2, right? But see how it's below 2? As you go to the right, it goes below. This little tail thing right here, it's coming closer and closer and closer to this horizontal asymptote. So it's getting closer and closer to this 1.
So it's like 100.
Well, if it was a negative e to the x, it'll be 1 above it. So it's the asymptote is where. Okay. X-intercept, I'm sorry. None. Can you see how it doesn't cross the x-axis? No x-intercept. None. And I can see that if I put 0 in for y, I'd have e to the 2 minus x plus 1. Then I'd have negative 1 equals e to the 2 minus x. You cannot raise e to any power and get get a negative answer out. Okay, no way to do that. That's why there's none. No x-intercepts. Y-intercept. Put 0 in for x, and so I'll say y equals e squared plus 1. That's it. Okay? You ready for the last one? Super excited, aren't you? I can tell. I can tell. You guys are like having a hard time sitting still. All right, so I have a natural log, but I have the x is negative. Here's my parent graph. I took a natural log graph and I reflected it over the y-axis. Another way to think about it is it makes all my x behave opposites. That's why I'm putting it on the opposite side for x. Okay, so here's my parent graph. My asymptote is on the y-axis. Okay, vertical at x equals 0. All right, I'm going to shift it 2 units. Right or left? Right, good. And 1 unit up. Okay, so I'm going to take this point. I'm going to shift it 2 units, 1, 2 units, right, and 1 unit up. Okay, but the asymptote moved with it, so the asymptote's going to go there. Okay, so, okay, I can test the point 1, 1 and make sure that works, right? Can you see how I can test the point 1, 1? So that means that when I put 1 in for x, I should get 1 out for y. Well, 2 minus 1 is 1. Natural log of 1 plus 1 equals 1. Huh, what's the natural log of 1? I forgot. Oh, that's right, 0. 0 plus 1 is 1, so 1 equals 1. Okay. Domain. Negative infinity. So it's up till the asymptote, okay? So it's negative infinity till 2. So my domain is negative infinity until 2. Okay, so that I'm only taking the logs of positives, right? And you can check that. That means that I should be able to put negative 3 in, right? So 2 minus negative 3, that's 5. Oh yeah, I can take the log of 5. All right, range is all reals. Doesn't have an x-intercept. Yep, so 0 equals the natural log of 2 minus x plus 1. So negative 1 equals the natural log of 2 minus x. Uh-oh. Okay, let's try this. So what's my base this time? E. E is going to be raised to the negative 1. Okay, so this is log base E. So it's E raised to the negative 1 equals 2 minus x, right? I'm going to add the x over to the left, equals 2 minus e to the negative 1. Nothing is going to happen to that negative 1 exponent, guys. You cannot multiply it away, or add it away, or whatever, okay? The exponent is going to stay negative 1. Okay, does it have a y-intercept? Yeah. How do I find the y-intercept? I forgot. Y-intercept, we put 0 in for x. Oh yeah, I remember now. So y-intercept equals the natural log of 2 plus 1. All right, how we do? Yes?
What is the point of that graph? Like, shouldn't it be 2, 2,
That's really irritating, isn't it? Yeah, let's look at it.
like, I'm kind of confused.
That's okay. No. You're okay with this being the parent graph of natural log of negative x?
That one?
Yeah. This is the parent graph.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
That was it?
Yeah.
I'm brilliant! Okay, for those people who did not see that, okay?
I was remembering the wrong thing, yeah.
All right, so I have my asymptote here and my point here. And I'm going to shift it 2 units to the right, so 1, 2. That means the point ends up at an x value of 1, and then you shift it up 1. So that's why I leave it 1, 1. Okay. All right, it's the asymptote Are you listening? When you're dealing with a log, the asymptote is always the shift on the inside. When you're dealing with an exponential graph, the asymptote is always located at the up-down shift. Okay? I'll say that again, because it's worth repeating. When you're dealing with a log graphs have vertical asymptotes. The vertical asymptote is always at the left-right shift. When you're dealing with an exponential, you have a horizontal asymptote. And the horizontal asymptote ends up at your vertical shift. Okay? All right, how are we feeling? Super excited.